Hi, and I just wanted to welcome you to my little webinar here to talk about networking in the 21st century. So networking in the 21st century has really changed the way we start looking at the way we network, connecting with people and keeping in touch with people, finding jobs, finding information, and also having that next step forward. My name's Josh Murdoch, and I'm at Professor Josh, so you can find me at professorjosh.com, at Professor Josh on Twitter, Facebook, all those different areas, and I'll be talking about networking in 21st century. So as we start looking at the way we meet the world is through other people. So that's true with networking, right? The way we meet the world is through other people's experience a lot of times, especially with social media. We see how people experience restaurants, jobs, events, experiences. Also, this is the way we connect with people. So networking is an important part of how to get a job, ways to connect and keep in touch with them for later on. You never know who you're going to meet and what position they'll be in or where they're going to be at to put you in that right situation to get the next step forward in your job or career. So as you think about networking, connecting with people, really it's about understanding who you're networking with and the mediums they prefer. So you have to understand how they like to be contacted. A lot of people don't like phone calls. There's several people that'd rather get an email or something like that from you to start off, or maybe get connected on Twitter or Facebook and connect with you that way. So many different ways people prefer. Some people, still love that phone call and talk to you about what's going on or what's happening. Some people would rather have that text message and get that. So you just need to understand where they like to be contacted and where they like to have that conversation, especially professional conversations versus friendly conversations also. So here's an example of networking. This is one of the things that really showcases how you get connected. So this is Beth Hauer, and Beth I met. She is the host of Florida BlogCon. She does several other things with blogging and connected through Central Florida, but I work with her on Florida BlogCon each year, really developing this conference that hosts 300 plus bloggers and is really successful. I met her actually through a friend on Twitter. So my friend, that's a good friend that I go surfing with, Carlos, he connected, and I saw something about Beth, and she sent out something, and we actually just connected on Twitter, started talking, and then continued that and met at some events and some other situations. The cool thing is, the first BlogCon, I met some other people. I really connected with some other bloggers. One of those was Katie, and Katie was from Growing Boulder, very influential in blogs, but also in the tech scene in Orlando and seeing what's going on. I met a ton of other people, though, too, that really keep in contact with, many through Facebook, Twitter, and things like that on the times when I can. So it's really interesting to see how you can build those relationships with people. After that, Katie introduced me to Tech Venture, and now also ICE Summit that I'm involved with. I'm speaking at actually next week on wearable technology and mobile, and a panel on the future of mobile. So it's really interesting that she brought me in and kind of reached out to people interested in Tech Venture and what's going on. I was able to connect with her, which then led me to connect with several other people through Orlando's tech industry, all kinds of different companies and experiences, and gives me that passion to really connect. I'm very involved with Orlando's tech community and promoting it, connecting with it, and what's happening. Also at the educational, of course, area, I'm an instructional designer and professor at Valencia, so connecting to those areas are very important, not just locally, but all around the nation also. So as you start seeing your connections, this is quick 7 lessons for better networking, and I'm just going to kind of go through these quick, but like I already talked about, finding a person's preferred communication channel is important. Also, sometimes just say enough. You don't have to keep going on and write 20 paragraphs to someone if you're trying to connect with them. Don't always expect a response on social media, so sometimes you tweet someone or connect with them, you might not get a response back right away or every time. That doesn't mean they haven't heard you. Make sure you clarify your intentions. Why are you trying to contact them? Are you interested in job shouting on them? Interested in their company? What's going on? Interested in them as a mentor, or connecting with them, with their industry, and learning more what's going on and how you can get involved with the industry? Not always about what you want. So that's not the point. It's sometimes about how you can help that person too. And I think that's a big thing. A lot of people want to understand how you can help them. Be open without needing. So that's important. And give space. Like I said, don't expect a response. Give some space. Give some time before you move on. So connecting. Connecting is always important. There's so many different ways to connect. And social media really provides an opportunity to connect yourself to content and people in amazing ways that you couldn't several years ago. So just 5-6 years ago, how would you connect with these people? How would you keep in touch? How would you share content? There were several, different forums online and email and things like that, but really social media provided a more open atmosphere to connect with people and connect with some of the things going on. So social media is a revolution. It's not a fad. It's here to stay. It's really changing the way we think. There's so many different things that are going on with social media and connecting with them. Some are fads, so stay around. Some go away. Different ways, different things happening. So that's something to pay attention. But the amount of content that's happening is amazing. You see it keep growing and growing and growing. The amount of Facebook posts, content that's provided, links that are shared, pictures that are shared, people connecting on mobile devices through Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, all those different areas that we'll talk about. So here's a couple of different things with Facebook, and I'm talking about different ways of connecting with people and connecting with others. So one way is, of course, sharing your cause. So you could share your cause or your passion and things that you're involved with. It could be a group you're involved with, an organization you're involved with, or what's happening. That's one way of sharing those with others, and they can see that too. Tagging and linking connections, so tagging to maybe donors if that's your atmosphere, or tagging and linking to people, making feel involved, seeing how your connections link. You never know who knows each other too. So it's always interesting to see how you can find out, or just ask a question to get a response. Making those personal connections too. It's really important to make that personal connection with people. It's not all about business. Sometimes it's about personal, their family, their friends, what's happening, what's going on, sharing, personal triumphs and things that make you as a person connect with other people. Also sharing content. So Facebook's a great way to share content, and we'll talk about a couple different ways coming up here how you can share content. So Facebook pages versus groups. You don't have to be a friend to connect either way. So pages, you really act as a brand. So you see this is my Professor Josh page. This is kind of my brand, my personal brand, which personal branding is very important. And it's a way for me to kind of, give information, provide information. I have a blog, I have a Twitter, have all these kind of things that I connect with. I like to share information this way. This way people don't have to connect with me personally. And I do connect with some people, usually personally, especially if I meet them and connect with them. But this is a way for anyone to be able to follow what's going on and things I like to share, especially education, technology, all those areas. You also can have groups, and groups are great in Facebook now. So many different ways to connect with people. Find out groups that are areas of your interest. Make groups that are there. Connect with students. Find industries. Find areas. Like we have a social media EDU group. We have a social media club Orlando. We talk about different things through, Startup Weekend, through Central Florida Bloggers groups, all kinds of things that we kind of communicate, share ideas, questions. Maybe it's something going on, or maybe it's something new that's changed and you have a question on it. So a lot of great things are happening with that. So definitely I would say find groups that are on Facebook you want to be involved with and talk with them and keep that open conversation. There's several also job opportunity kind of groups that are there that the only thing they let people do is post job opportunities or careers in a certain area. So that could be a great way. It's also a great way to find. A lot of times in groups, I see people, hey, I know a friend that's seeking, someone in social media, in the social media club, or a marketing director that has social media experience. Do you know anyone? Or do you know anyone that wants to intern? Or I have an intern that's looking for some other opportunities, those kind of things. So a lot of great things can come from groups and connecting with people in that personal way. They don't have to be your friend on Facebook. They can connect and share, but you're sharing as yourself inside groups. So as you see here, I'm sharing as myself opposed to sharing as my brand on Professor Josh. So Facebook groups, like I said, create those spaces. You can share content. You can have secret groups. Only members can see what's going on and who's in it. You can have closed groups where people can see the group and find the group, but you have to be invited into it and only members can see the post. And then you could have open public groups that anyone can see what's going on, who's posting things. There's also groups for schools. Valencia has a group that requires your Valencia email address to be verified into those groups. So this is examples of groups that are connected. Fun groups that are meetup groups, groups that are for educators, and groups that are about jobs, like the social media jobs area, where all it is people posting about social media jobs. If anything else is posted in there, they actually delete it. They don't want people spamming it. They want to really just share job opportunities with people. So another area I want to talk about is Twitter. And I love this quote. The qualities that make Twitter seem insane and half-baked are what make it so powerful, and so true. At first, when I saw Twitter and was introduced to Twitter several years ago, I said, this is the stupidest idea. Why would I want to do this? But I've learned, how this, really this system, this microblogging system connects people outside of their comfort zone. Facebook's all about people you know a lot of times, or people that you're in groups with and things like that. Twitter really opens it up to a lot more of diverse population of people all around the globe. So here are just quick 5 reasons to use Twitter. One of them is that you want to reach out and connect with people and have that opportunity to share with them, mention them, find them, and connect. Breaking news. So keeping up with the news and what's going on. Twitter's the area that you find news happening quicker than anywhere else. You'll find news happen before you see it on TV or read about it on CNN or something like that. You'll see Twitter, people shouting out things or having things. Also a great way to just find out what's latest in your area, things you're interested in, researching companies, networking with people. So connecting with people from different industries and they know who you are and you're the expert or you're the person they want to talk to or you want to ask them questions about things. So keeping that networking going. Example is I reached out to someone that is a producer. They knew that a producer for Fox 35 and they knew I was interested in social media and education and they wanted to do a story on it. They connected with me about that. Also advice, so asking questions for people or what's going on or what's happening. A lot of times people reach back to you and reach out to you. And then also connecting with marketing with brands and connecting with brands and companies and seeing what's going on and finding a little more information about a company or about a person that's working for the company. So Twitter can be a great way to see what's talking about and what's happening in their industry. So this is tweetmaps.com, and this is showing all my followers. And it's very interesting to see how it's spread out for the globe. Of course, a lot of people are concentrated in Florida, but you see that all over the globe are people, all over the United States. It's so interesting the people I connected with Australia that had questions about learning management systems, Blackboard, things like that. The people in California, big tech industry, education, ed tech industry happening there. So all over the United States, connecting with educators and sharing things and sharing what's going on and happening with us or ideas and learning from them as well. So with Twitter, you have hashtags hashtags, and hashtags are just a symbol, and they're used in several different social media platforms now. They're used in Facebook, Instagram, Google Plus, all those different areas. And I just wanted to kind of showcase Twitter, because Twitter is really where it started. And it's a way to organize keywords or topics with tweets. There's a great funny video going on right now. If you look up for Jimmy Fallon and Justin Timberlake, they're talking about hashtags and how silly it sounds. But really, it's a quick link to other people talking about this subject. So if people are talking about a conference or event, like this is an example here shown, South by Southwest EDU, and it's a hashtag for it, the conference. And all the people, you're finding people, you're connecting, you're networking with them. But also examples are like ed tech, higher ed, e-learning that I have down there. Those hashtags are what people are sharing advice with, or sharing knowledge, or asking questions. It's really a way to kind of have that communication going on a certain subject as what's going on. So it's great to find hashtags related to your area that you want to explore. Also, Twitter chat. So they're great interactive conversation at a specific time on Twitter, usually covering a specific topic. And the great thing about them is they live. So they say, okay, we're going to meet at Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock. That's an example of Get Real Chat. It's all about marketing, social media, digital media, those type of things. And here's the topic for the week, and we'll ask several questions. You'll respond to those questions. You'll meet other people. You'll converse. But it's a live conversation happening using that hashtag. So that's an example of a Twitter chat. So it's really cool to check out. Great way to network with people. Great way to get kind of advice and ideas, and also, kind of promote yourself, connecting with people more on Twitter, finding other people in your industry. There's so many different kinds of Twitter chats out there. If you just search Twitter chat, if you want to find any in your special area or what time they meet and things like that, and hop on them, you definitely can connect and learn from so many people. So LinkedIn, of course, is that professional network. I definitely recommend everyone having a LinkedIn account, cleaning up their LinkedIn account, having some great things on there, making sure that you keep it well-informed, great information, connect with people. Great way to keep those personal connections, but those also business connections. Also great to have recommendations, so making sure people have that recommendation. It's almost like that recommendation letter, but it's online, virtually, and people can find it. It's a great thing to be able to share this with potential employers, or when you Google someone. A lot of times, if they don't have a really, really common name, like John Smith, might be too common, but if you Google my name, I guarantee my LinkedIn account will come up. And it'll be one of the first things on one of the pages on Google. So wouldn't it be great to them find great information about me, presentations I've done, education, my volunteer work, my current and past employment, things like that, my blog, being able to connect right there with all that information. Also finding those recommendations from people. So getting those recommendations from employers, from colleagues, from foundations, groups, volunteer work you've done, things like that, and having those on there and how they can help you, really sell yourself. And that's what you're doing in your job search, is selling yourself and connecting with people. This is a really cool, visualize.me is a different way to really take your LinkedIn information and turn it into an infograph, interactive infograph. So I kind of wanted to highlight this, but visualize.me is one of those. If you search my blog, you can find more information about it. Check out mine. But it's a neat way to connect and kind of build a different kind of resume, a digital resume that can be out there, set you apart. Munch is also made by LinkedIn, so it's an app that you can have, say on your iPhone. You can scan a card in, and it turns it into a contact, and then lets you connect. So the great thing about this is it turns it into the contact, sends it away, and then it sends it back and puts it on your phone, keeps the copy of the business card, because I hate that. I always lose business cards if I don't do this, because I put them in my back pocket, it goes to the wash, or I lose it because I grab a stack of different business cards from people I meet at events and I lose them. It's a great way to keep those contacts always on your phone, and also keeps it there, so if you want to connect with them on LinkedIn too, it gives you that ability, and brings in their LinkedIn information if you do connect with them. So then you can easily look up people's information with their card, and maybe where they worked in the past. Like I said, a lot about connections of where people have worked before. LinkedIn groups is a great way to increase your exposure and become known as an expert in the field, but also see what people are talking about, finding about jobs that are happening. People are asking about, recruiters are looking for people, those type of things. Find out, what people are wondering about or how you can improve your visibility to get careers and be exposed. So definitely LinkedIn groups can be a great way to ask people questions, but also answer questions for people or help them out, become that knowledge expert. Talking about what's happening, what's going on. So blogging, it can be a great way to also have a digital portfolio out there. So blogging platforms can be content management website platforms also, but a great way to also get yourself out there and increase that SEO. So your search optimization, search engine optimization, increasing the ability for someone to find you on the web and find great things about what you want to talk about in your field or what's going on. So just to let you know, bloggers do post a lot of times opinion about brands and products. A lot of times consumers trust peer recommendations. So it's so interesting that so many blogs are out there and really connect, and you trust what your friend said. If your friend told you that this place has the best hamburger in Orlando, you're going to believe it, and you want to try it compared to their ad saying they had the best hamburger in Orlando. So if you think about, consumers trust their peer recommendations, and that's what social media is a lot about. It's really interesting to see, that connection and who trusts what and how blogging can increase. So why blog? It really shares your knowledge of the subject. You become that content expert. Definitely you have to enjoy it. So if you don't enjoy it, don't blog, but build yourself a portfolio or website that's out there that you can send to people, especially if you're doing different work where you need to send out portfolio of information and keep things. Meet fellow bloggers, increase your internet traffic search. Different sites, you can use WordPress.com is free, Blogger.com, Weebly, LiveJournal, or you can just create your own if you want to pay some extra money and actually host your own through WordPress.org and get that installed on your own server that you're paying for, and creating a website for yourself like mine, ProfessorJosh.com. Other ways to meet people and find out what's going on, of course, finding out professionals in your field. Meetup. So Meetup is a great way to find people. There's tons of different meetups out there, from everything from meetup groups that are social to meetup groups that are related to IT, to social networking, to startups, to improving your business, to all kinds of everything you can think of. It's out there. So go to meetup.com and search what's in the Orlando area and you can connect with and who you can connect with. Also, sometimes groups have tweet-ups where people are taking that online conversation offline, so they meet to face-to-face. A lot of times this might happen at conference or events, or people that are familiar talk with each other and are kind of in one area, so that would be one. But definitely check out Meetups or Eventbrite also to see what kind of events are happening. But meetup.com is a great site to find people and network with people and connect with them, and you never know who's going to have that job opportunity for you. You can't open a book without learning something new. So great quote, right? And same with social media. Definitely when you meet people and start, connecting with them, follow up. Give yourself homework. Who are you going to follow up? What links are you going to check? Who are you going to connect with? Who you want to make sure you tweet, Facebook message, LinkedIn connect with? Write a message personal to them, not just send the generic, "Hi, I would like you to be my LinkedIn friend," kind of thing. I want to connect with you on LinkedIn. Write them something a little more personal and something they can connect with, or what you might want to connect with them. You're really interested in a certain field. Use that network effect. The more people, more ideas, people, books, links, blogs, interests, things you connect with, the bigger that network effect is. Social bookmarking can be a great way to keep. Delicious is one of those sites that you can keep and share your bookmarks everywhere you go, so you can keep familiar with things, organize them. So that's one of those tools out there, delicious.com, search and explore and social bookmarking. But it makes it easier for people to get to know you when you have that catchy, that URL, that business card, the way you can express to people and go beyond the different, have that ability to keep in touch with people through Facebook, LinkedIn, blogs. Let other people choose to get to know you and have that available for them to know what you're talking about. It's surprising how many people say, I read your blog, or I find your information, or I know who you are, but then I've never connected with them. They've never really reached out, but they're still reading that information, connecting with me, and knowing what I'm about and finding my information. Sometimes you can do the QR code idea. You're scanning with a fancy phone. You could add that to your blog link or something else onto a business card to link you right to maybe a website. So that's what QR codes can do. Lots of different QR code generators out there, but usually linking to a URL, but you can also do email, phone number, things like that, and have that right on your card. It can be kind of a cool way to be able to connect with people and link with them and have something different. So the biggest thing I want to remind you of is keep going, keep practicing. The more you think, the more you listen, the more you write, the more you speak, the more you'll figure out who you are and what you want and what says matters. So it's really important. Definitely it's time for you to start getting connected. Start figuring out what you want to do and what's going on, and being able to connect with people. So if you want to reach out to me, at Professor Josh on Twitter, Facebook.com, Professor Josh, ProfessorJosh.com, Josh at ProfessorJosh.com. Connect with me. Learn some more of what's going on and figuring out how you can get connected social media wise and reach out and find jobs. It's amazing what you'll find on Twitter, people connecting with, talking about Facebook the same way in these groups. People share information. It is a lot about who you know to get a job. Sometimes it's not just about being able to find that job, but being able to know and be aware when something opens. Not everything's posted out there and not available for everyone to kind of search through, or you don't know what different kind of million different ways they're trying to post it. So this is one way. Sometimes that personal connection is the best connection. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Please tweet me, connect with me on Facebook, send me a message there at Professor Josh, and I really hope you enjoyed this presentation.